BYD has only been in Ireland about 3 years, but already it's had quite a lot of impact, selling lots of cars, expanding the dealer network around the country and bringing new models to market, like this one, the latest, is the BYD Sealion 5. It's a plug-in hybrid SUV. It rivals things like Toyota Corolla Cross, Hyundai Tucson, Kia Sportage and the Nissan Qashqai. So those are traditionally big sellers in the Irish new car market. This is the design, and this is about €40,000 990. It has an EV range up to 86 kilometres, but there's also an entry-level comfort model with up to 62 kilometre range, and that starts at a very eye-catching €36,000 990. So it does look like very good value, but what's it really like? That's what I'm going to tell you in this video. This uses BYD's super hybrid technology as seen in the Seal 6 and also the Seal U, and basically they've designed it to give that power and responsiveness of an electric vehicle, but with the backup of a 1.5 litre petrol engine. That's 4-cylinder, and it's actually a naturally aspirated unit. It's not a turbocharged unit, but they've absolutely delivered on that premise of being an electric vehicle like driving experience, because I find it very smooth and responsive, instantaneous acceleration. 0 to 100 is 8.1 seconds. You've got 212 horsepower, no matter if you go for the comfort or the design version. They only differ in their battery size. Now the battery can be charged from a port here on the side. It's AC up to about 3.3 kilowatts, so it is slow enough to charge. It's about 4.5 to 6 hours to get that full battery charged. But what I've been finding with this car is that it's so incredibly efficient. So my average fuel consumption is 4.7 litres per 100 kilometres without trying too hard at all. And it is a powerful car as well. You don't hear that engine at work. Only occasionally you hear it in the background as it charges the battery that keeps all this going. So really excellent in terms of this fuel economy you can get from this without even having to be diligent about keeping the battery fully charged all the time. So I wouldn't usually recommend plug-in hybrids unless you can do frequent charging, but I think with this one you'd actually get by without keeping the battery topped up all the time. But at least you have that capability as well if you do want to drive it as a pure EV. And it's really easy to switch between the EV and hybrid drive. There's a button here on the center console to do that, but it predominantly drives as a hybrid, so when you start it up it's in hybrid mode. BYD has churned out some great designs over the last while, like the Seal and the Sealion 7, but I would say next to those, this does look quite plain and generic, but it does naturally have that appeal of being an SUV, and they have added a little bit of bling to it with this silver piece along here. It's quite distinctive, and there's also these little silver elements in the grille. The comfort and the design models are the exact same in terms of how they look. They both get 18-inch alloy wheels and the silver roof rails to give it that chunky SUV character. There's just 4 colours to choose from: black, grey, white and blue. So altogether it's a smart looking SUV, but I wouldn't say it's a particularly memorable one. BYD does a good job of creating plush feeling interiors, and this one is no different. So you get that full synthetic leather upholstery, and there's a nice mix of materials used, including this silver around the center console. I also love this gear selector. It's sturdy and it feels good quality. There's a full digital driver display and then a 12.8-inch touchscreen, and this no longer rotates, which was a party piece of earlier BYDs, but in fairness most people preferred it in this landscape orientation. You do have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There's other apps for music and streaming in there, and it's a system that I've gotten used to over time. It is pretty much all touch control. There's no physical buttons associated with the system. You do have voice control. There's also a number of little shortcuts associated with this, including for the ventilation controls. So you move 3 fingers across to adjust the fan speed and 3 fingers down for the temperature. It's actually really handy to know those shortcuts. It makes it a lot easier to interact with. There's plenty of storage. You've got space under this middle piece. There's cup holders. There's also a glove box and good door bends. Standard features include rear parking sensors and also power adjustment for these front seats. But if you go for the design like this one, you get a 360 camera. There's also heated front seats and wireless smartphone charging. So altogether, I think the interior is actually a really strong point for the Sealion 5. It's comfortable and it's a lot more stylish than what the outside of the car might suggest. Like a lot of the BYDs, it has this full width light bar across the back, which does add an element of style to it. There's also this spoiler, and it's got little gaps in here, which is quite interesting. It's probably for aerodynamics. The powered tailgate comes as standard on the design, and it's 463 litres, so that's similar to a Toyota Corolla Cross, but it is a bit less than a Qashqai or a Tucson. Still, you have this completely flat sill, and you can also let down those rear seats 60-40. Feels really spacious. Back here, lots of legroom and a completely flat floor, so even your middle seat passenger will have place to put their feet. That seat is set for me, and as you can see, I've got plenty of legroom. And there's also little amenities like those pockets in the back of the seats. There's vents, there's USB-C ports and an armrest with some cup holders. There's also ISOFIX on the 2 outer seats, but also the front passenger seat, and the door openings back here are wide, so it should be easy enough to get a child seat in and to get the child into the seat. Ride quality is mixed, so it's fine at cruising, but it never really entirely settles down underneath you, so you can feel it reacting to the road surface, and on bumpy rural roads or in town, it does thud in and out of any bumps or lumps on the road surface. So I think that could be better, and there is road noise there as well, particularly at high speeds on the motorway. The handling is quite good. It's probably the best I've had in a BYD of all the ones that I've driven recently, so it feels more connected to the road and less floaty than the Seal U, which is a slightly bigger SUV than this. There is lean in corners, but it grips well, and the steering is nicely weighted, so you do feel connected to the road. One thing it's missing is paddles behind the steering wheel for regen braking adjustment. I'd like to see that. It does have drive modes all the same, but I'm just leaving it in the normal mode. It's not really a sporty car. You're not going to be throwing this in and out corners, and it's fast enough, I have to say, in the normal mode, and very responsive. So altogether, this is a practical, sensible SUV. It doesn't look all that exciting from the outside, but I think once you get into it, there's a lovely feeling of solidness, and it's very well appointed. Lots of equipment on the car, particularly this design model, and it's decent enough to drive. I would like to see it a bit more comfortable, less crashy, but the fuel economy is brilliant, and I think for a lot of SUV buyers that's going to matter the most. So that's all for the cabin of the new BYD Sealion 5. You can read more over on changinglanes.ie. I left a link in the description below the video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.